So Valushi over here is going to teach you guys about sacks of fairies and how to make a sack of fairies. So you have a sack, and then you've got all your fairies that you put into the sack. But the problem is sometimes you have a sack like this and you got all your fairies in the sack and you're like, wow, look at this, I want to put all my little glimmy fairies in here, and there's 24, but only around 20 of them fit where you can close your sacks. You're like, oh no, look at me, I got a sack of fairies, but they don't fit. So you could take out 4 maybe 4 or 5. Let's see, it's a bit technical. Try and close it. Now this one still kind of pops out. And you'd be like, wow, look, I got a sack of fairies. So that's how you make a little sack of fairies, like so. But if you want all of them to fit, you're going to need one of these durable fairy sacks. You know, they're a bit bigger. They're about the same size of your standard alpaca. And that's how you do your fairy stuff, is you put all of these guys into this big kind of sack. But you don't want to tip them all into the sack. You want to place them into the sack. And because if you were to tip them, they might get hurt and chipped, and that wouldn't be good. So you want to just do it very gently, and do not shake your sack of fairies. That's not a good idea. So you have them in here. And this is a sack of fairies, and this is what it looks like. And I'm just going to turn off the lights for in this moment. So this is your successful sack of fairies. Plenty of room for them to fly around for easy transportation in your standard alpaca size sack. And that's how you fairy sack. Now I'm going to turn on the light and show you a little mini sack for those of you who like your tiny mini fairies. Okay, so this is a little mini sack of fairies. And as you know, maybe from watching videos before where I said, unfortunately, when I left my family home, one of my favorite little fairies is twinkle fairies. So they got to come with me, but there wasn't any room in the sudden upheaval in my life for me to pack all of their little homes. So all of my little twinkle fairies have had to go in a fairy sack, which is what you do when you don't have your little twinkle homes. But I'd love some twinkle homes. But for now, we've got a gorgeous little twinkly fairies, and they're all here with some stowaway little Polly Pockets and things like that. So that's how you do your fairy sacks. Put them in here, and it's the perfect for when you want to have a sack of fairies, as you do. There you go. Whoop, little head in there. And then you can run around, jingle, jingle, jingle. And it's like, well, Staria, if your fairies didn't fit in the fairy bag, then and they went here, what do you do with this fairy bag? Well, that's quite obvious. That's why you have a sack of jesters. Say, twinkle, 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 twinkle. So that's where you don't just put them like this. You have to be like jesters, like this, okay? Because they like to be stuffed into things like a clown car. So you stuff your jester into, make sure you get all his little things, and you put there, and now you've got a sack with a jester in it. Alright, I hope this was very helpful to you guys, and you can see all the varieties of little bags and sacks that you might need. And you got your little alpaca, who's, she's very studious about the whole thing. And I hope that was really helpful to you. Goodbye, dreamers.